All right. Hello,
Right.
everybody.
Hello,
And
world.
we are here. So welcome, everyone. It's World Refugee Day today, and we're doing it live. I'm Joel from Artolution, and we also have Max here, my co-host.
Hello, everybody. This has been something we've been dreaming of for many years, of being able to bring together all of our refugee teams from around the world and being able to come together to discuss art in this time that's more important than it's ever been.
So many of you may know that Artolution, we have refugee artist teams working with children and youth in their community, representing the Syrian, Rohingya, and South Sudanese communities. In the Syrians in Jordan, the South Sudanese in Uganda, and the Rohingya in Bangladesh, all of whom have fled from some really difficult situations and conflicts, and have now very large refugee populations in those countries. And so we're going to have the very special opportunity to hear from all three of those groups. And these are all people who are working with Artolution year-round, reaching out and engaging the youth and children in their communities.
We're going to have every different group start with introductions about who they are and what they do. Why don't we start with maybe Bangladesh?
Thank you, Max, and thank you, Joel. So it's a huge honor to be here. First, I would like to give thanks all the world people who are watching here. So I'm SM Shujauddin, and I'm the country coordination manager of the Artolutions, and I've been working with Artolution since 2017. And today I will not speak that much, and rather than I will have to give the opportunity to listen our artists from the Rohingya camp.
Assalamu alaikum. আমার নাম হলো মোহাম্মদ আমিন। আমি অ্যাক্টুয়েশন থাকবে দিয়ে 2.5 বছর হইদিন দিওর তো মানে আই এখন আজ হইদিন এখন অ্যাক্টুয়েশন থাকছে রে।
My name is Mohammed Amin. I have been working with Artolution since 2.5 years, and still I'm working with Artolution.
Hello, hi, bye, assalamu alaikum. Hello, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Muhammad Hassan, and I have two names. Another name is Kamal Hussain. I'm working with the Artolution from the beginning of 2018. Since we are here in Bangladesh, I started working with the Artolution as a lead artist. I worked in many camps with many children, with many elders. After working, I felt very happy with the Artolution, with our Rohingya communities and also Bangla communities. It made me more happy and more enjoyable, and also I went to work with the Artolution in my future, the school life. Rohingya communities have no medias and also no reporters. Right now, it become a powerful message center for our Rohingya community because we can give messages to the world through the art.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Namunda Anwara. So, June or Adastar মানে থাকি ট্রেনিং প্রায় 2 বছর মতন আছি। তো মানে প্রথমে আর্টিফিশিয়ালটা ছিলাম, তখন আবার মানে লিডিংটা মানে প্রায় 6-7 মাস থেকে লিডিংটা হাত দিয়েছিলাম।
So my name is Anwar. I've been working. I started to work from June, and I've been around 2.5 years. I've been working.
मैं आपन হাজরে মানে ওগা মার্কেট মানে যেভাবে ওগা মানে বাচ্চা শিশু মানে আর মাকান জীবন খাই খান লাগে বলতে মানে এখন জীবন আর আগর যা দিয়েছিল এখন বাস্তবে আর এখন আর এখন জীবন তৈরি হয়ে ইনশাআল্লাহ। তো জীবনে দেন এখন গাছ দিবা পানি দিয়ে মানে আই বা গাছ তৈরি করছি মানে গাছ কাজে তো জীবিত তো দূর আছে।
She's talking about working with Artolution is like a child born inside the mom, and it's like it means to world for me. It's like a baby. How when a baby growing up, it's like that. So Artolution is giving to me it's a new world, as in something new which I learned from the Artolution.
Shukriya, Bun. Thank you so much. Dhonobad. Do we want to move over to Majida and Samir and Wafa?
I'll introduce myself. My name is Majida. I'm in Samos Island in Greece. I work with the Refugee. I start working with Artolution since 2000, 2016. So I start with Max, with small project in my small school in the camp. Also, the last project, it was in Paris in UNESCO building. So I'm so glad. I hope we have like one workshop in a global artists of Artolution. So this is my dream, to have big project everywhere with all Artolution artist group.
Thank you, Majida.
Yeah.
We're going to now introduce two of our Artolution artists. Majida is going to help translate. Thank you so much for being here with us, Majida. Okay, so Samir wa Wifa, ahlan wa sahlan, assalamu alaikum. كيفكن؟
عليكم العافية. تمام حبيبي جويل.
على كيفك جويل؟
كله تمام الحمد لله.
السلام عليكم.
تمام.
اوكي.
أنا مجيدة.
أهلا فيك، كيفكم؟
أنا أول شيء يعطيكم العافية جميعا. أنا اسمي سمير الغفاري، سوري، مقيم بالأردن في مخيم الأزرق. بنشكر الجامعة الحلوة هاي كلها اللي جامعينها، جميع الشباب الرسامين. بنشكركم على هذا اللايف، إنه مبسوطين كثير بهاي الجامعة والله. وأول شيء نحن رسامين مخيم الأزرق، صار لنا تقريبا 4 سنوات نشتغل مع Artolution مخيم الأزرق. كانت هي مشروعنا بمخيم الأزرق هو تغيير الكرفانات، تغيير الحياة بالنسبة للأطفال، للعالم الموجودة بالمخيم. كيف كانت الناس جاية من مكان وصارت بمكان، وحاولنا قدر الإمكان إنه نعطي شوية حياة لهي المكان اللي نحن فيه. طبعا نحن المكان اللي فيه نحن كلياته أبيض كرفانات. لما دخلت Artolution على مخيم الأزرق صار في حياة، صار في ألوان، صار في بهجة للأطفال،
فرح
جدارية هيك.
اوكي، بس اعطيني فرصة بس اترجم اللي حكيته عشان القصة طويلة. اوكي، بداية اسمي سمير الغفاري. صرت احكي بالعربي، sorry. First of all, my name is Samir al-Ghaffari. I'm Syrian, a refugee in Azraq camp. I started working with Artolution 4 years ago in Azraq camp. In the beginning, when all the people came as a refugee, they live in the containers. They were the colors. It was all white. It seems very sad. And then when we start to change it with the colors, the people, they become happy and become normality for everyone. And he's happy to work with us. تفضل.
السلام عليكم. أول شيء أنا اسمي وفاء محمود، من سوريا، مقيمة بمخيم الأزرق.
طبعا نحن بنشكر منظمة Artolution على تعاملها لأنهم بالمخيم وجيتهم لهون عنا على المخيم، لأنه عن جد صار في حياة بالنسبة للأطفال، للألوان،
في تجديد إنه بالمخيم،
للكرفانات. يعني أعطينا جو بالمخيم بالنسبة للرسم.
Wifa was just introducing herself. She's one of Artolution's artists since last year, and she comes from Syria. Wifa is from Homs in Syria, and she came over during the conflict and now lives for years now in Azraq refugee camp, where she is one of our lead artists with Artolution, partnering with UNICEF and working year-round with youth and kids, leading mural projects and other arts-based programs in Azraq. Shukran Wifa, shukran Samir.
So maybe we can start with Swizen, there we go, and Alban, and we're joined by Abba Charity and James Dack. So great to see you. And Swizen, would love to hear from you.
Yes, greetings to everyone. I extend my greetings to you from the refugee Uganda, most especially Bidibidi refugee settlement, and most especially the Artolution programs in Bidibidi. Happy World Refugee Day to you all, and hope you are staying safe and living a better life. Called Swizen Atwine. I'm a coordination manager for Artolution programs here in Uganda. I joined Artolution in 2000, and come to Uganda on his mission. And I was happy to have met him and interacted with him workshop that he conducted with the refugee.
So Switzerland's in a pretty remote area, so just a little patience from everyone out there watching. But he is, like you said, he's our coordinator, and hopefully we'll hear from him in a minute. Done some really great work. He's been working with youth for years in the Bidi Bidi refugee settlements.
Hello, how are you? Oh, we're so happy to see you. So we're doing introductions, so maybe you could both talk a little bit. Oh, it's so good to see you. Maybe you could say who you are and where you are, and do an introduction. We would love to hear from you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Miriam Adar from Bidi Bidi in Uganda, in Zone 1. Thank you.
And Miriam, where are you from? Tell us a little about yourself.
I come from South Sudan. I'm a refugee in Bidi Bidi.
And what do you do?
I love Artolution. Currently, I'm teaching in Trajiji Primary School, and I'm one of the members in the Artolution team Bidi Bidi.
Great, thank you.
Thank
And I
you.
should say Miriam is an excellent youth facilitator and teacher and artist, and she really is, I think, a really amazing mother figure and warm, vibrant figure for the kids there.
Hello.
Hello, Margaret.
Hi.
You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Possibly. My name is Azamuke Kizito. I'm a teacher working in Bidi Bidi Refugee Settlement, that's in Uganda. I also exist as an artist with Artolution and working with youth within Bidi Bidi Refugee Settlement and the hosting community, especially in our district, that is Uganda, rather Yumbe. Thank you very much.
My name is Margaret James. I'm a student staying in Bidi Bidi Refugee Settlement. I'm assistant artist. Thank you. I'm a South Sudanese.
Okay. How long have you
yeah.
been in Bidi Bidi?
I think 3 years.
How do you enjoy your work doing art with the children?
I think I've been working with the children, and because what we are doing sometimes, as most of the parents, they don't want their children to work because they were talking about like this COVID, they are afraid, but I think most of the parents, like some of the parents allow their children to work with us. So it was been a good work, and I'm happy to work with them also.
My name is Kwena James Duck. I'm a South Sudanese refugee living in Bidi Bidi. And I've stayed here in Bidi Bidi for around 3 years for now. And what I do, I'm a graphic designer. I do graphic stuff. Basically, I do illustrations. I also do animations. So those are the main things I normally do in the camp here. Thank you.
Great. And we really enjoy your work. We've seen some of your work. And how long
Thank
have you
you.
lived in Bidi Bidi?
I've lived in Bidi Bidi for about 3 years for now.
In the names of Alban from Kwenje, and I'm very pleased you guys to have arranged this. I'm happy to see most of our fellow artists around the world, and you are really welcome. Yeah, I'm the assistant coordinator for Artolution here in Uganda, and I first met Joel here in Uganda now like a year ago. And as we drove towards Yumbe, so many things came up. And the way I joined, it's now history. But I've really loved whatever we've been doing, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. We've Artolution has introduced different types of art using our smartphones, and I'm happy that most of our refugees and friends and even the host community have really appreciated and learned a lot. I want to thank Artolution not to have forgotten about us during this period. Our artists have been facilitated to the maximum. No one is complaining. So I really appreciate what you guys are doing here in Uganda and the rest of the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alman. We appreciate you so much. Charity, you with us?
I wanted to say hi to everyone who is listening to me, and I've seen new faces from Bangladesh and all other places that have not mentioned. I'm really very happy of seeing different faces today again. I'm by name Aba Charity. I'm a refugee in Bidibidi refugee settlement, Uganda. I stayed in zone 5. I'm one of the assistant artists in Bidibidi. So far, I've stayed in Bidibidi refugee settlement, Uganda for 3 years, and I've been working with Artolution. So I joined Artolution last year, and I really learned a lot. I'd been working with kids, and I learned more from the kids. So what I like also so much at this time of COVID-19 lockdown, I was so much occupied with that Luzon thing, because the phone I was holding, a phone has something for communication. But now, because of that Luzon, I've learned more things from my phone. So I really like it, and I feel like I should be. As I wish I also wanted to go and join some people from other country afterward, and we are praying for wishes. Thanks.
Thank you to all of you. You're making a huge, huge difference in all of your communities, and all of us at Artolution, and I think I can hopefully speak for everyone who's watching as well, that we so much appreciate your work and we really value it. And today is World Refugee Day, so we are celebrating all of you.
I also want to say that thank you for joining us today. This is the first time in history that we have had conversations between these different regions all over the world. So you are really making history in a new way that's never been done, and it's amazing that we're able to come together. One of the first questions that we wanted to ask is, what role does art making play in your community and your culture historically and now? Let's start in Bangladesh with Muhammad Amin, Muhammad Noor, and Anwara about art making in the Rohingya context.
Okay, thank you for giving me opportunity to speak with all of you. Art is very important and also one kind of medicine for our Rohingya community, because through the art, every people can give messages to the world, and also through the art, people can learn different kinds of education from the art. And also many people like art because they interested to draw different kinds of things, different kinds of flowers, animals, and also different kinds of relevant stories which were about in Myanmar, what was happening in Myanmar. Mostly people like to draw these images, what were happened inside the Myanmar, because they want to know for the whole life about that problem. So it can help in many ways to our community. One is giving message, and another is which is helping about education. Through the art, people can learn education, and also their knowledge and also their mind can improve.
যে কমিউনিটি মানে আরা আশেপাশে যারা আছে তারা মানে আরা আর্ট করিয়ে মানে যারা লেখা পড়তে পারে যারা মানে লেখাপড়া পড়তে পারে তারা আল্লাহ বেশি দরকারি মানে আর্টের মাধ্যমে বুঝাতে পারি তো হন জিনিসান মানে তারারে বুঝাতে পারি আরা এ ধরনের আর্ট করি যে মেসেজ আরা তারারে বুঝাতে পারি তো একটা মেসেজ হইলে আমি এটা যে মানে গর্ভবতী মা মানে আছি বটিও না জানাতে গর্ভবতী মার বাচ্চায় বা কিভাবে থাকে কিভাবে সুস্থ থাকবো কি ধরনের থাকিলে সুস্থ থাকবো কি ধরনের থাকিলে মানে অসুস্থ থাকবো তো ইয়ানারা আটের মাধ্যমে এখন সুস্থ দেখাই কিন্তু অন্য পর্যায়ে মানে অসুস্থ ইয়ানো দেখাইতে পারি মানে বিভিন্ন ধরনের আরা মেসেজ দিয়ে মানে আর্ট সম্পর্কে আর্ট দিয়ে আরা বহুত কিছু মানে মেসেজ দিতে পারি তো আশা করি যারা লেখাপড়া না করে যারা শিক্ষিত তারা তো অবশ্যই বুঝিব যারা শিক্ষিত নয় যারা দিনের সম্বন্ধে মানে মেসেজের সম্বন্ধে অনেক কিছু না বুঝে তারা আরা মেসেজের আরো সম্পর্কে মেসেজ দিয়ে বুঝাতে পারি ইনশাল্লাহ।
So yeah, through the art, basically we are disseminating the message, especially those who are not educated. Those who are educated, they know about what they need to do, but those who are not educated, not able to read, not able to write, but through the art, through the key messages, we are able to show them, we are able to make them aware to know what is art and what kind of message they need to know. And especially right now, Anora was saying she is doing one of the mural, which is based on the public health and about one of the pregnant women, even during the time of COVID-19, and how you will take care about the pregnant women. And so there is a different process, different step of pregnant women, like how pregnant women are surviving during this pandemic time. So through the message, through the mural, we able to make the people understand what kind of take care we need to do to the pregnant women, to the people. So art is helping and giving the voice to the people, those who doesn't have a voice, and also awarding the people, those who doesn't know about how to write or how to read. I just want to say, Max, even to the world, like Anwara is a she has a story. She was a dropout, and she has been working with Artolution because she's working with Artolution right now. She knows and how to make the message and how to teach the people. So even herself is a benefited through the art. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that's so important about the amazing power of visual imagery of the arts to connect.
By the time we came here, there was a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of fighting amongst the tribes. You find that when people are at the water point, they can fight according to their tribes. When another tribe is trying to get water, another one will come, grumble for water. A lot of things were done at the beginning when we came. But when Artolution came in, these children who were fighting trouble wars, grumbling for water, maybe balls was now getting finished because there was now, they come together, they learn everything together. We created into them that togetherness. So with Artolution, you share everything. You cannot say that this one is mine, this one is mine. We share everything. So by the time Artolution came in, there was team spirit which was built in our children, most especially in the schools. There was love amongst themselves because at first they were not having love amongst themselves. Each tribe was hot against the other. But when Artolution came in, when they learned how to be together, there was peace in the school. Even fighting reduced. People were now together. There's a team spirit which was built into our children.
Making art through painting was something I couldn't. But after I got introduced by Artolution, that's when I really got to know that there is nothing. The first time I got pains to start painting. There were a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges, and I couldn't know that art could be used to change people. That was something very impossible in my thoughts. For me, I was thinking that art is only for commercial purpose. So when I got introduced, I really knew that art is the most beautiful means of communication that we can use. Reason being, when art piece is created, normally it attracts attention of very many people. People wish to know who did this and why this one was done, because it is a kind of piece, it is a beautiful thing for the eyes. So when I got introduced this slowly by slowly, I got to know that people can tell their stories through art. And there was just a small sub-project I did with the children. Children were able to come up with some stories talking about coexistence, talking about how elders used to tell stories for children in African traditional society. Normally they used to, during evening hours, they used to sit at a fireplace and then they could share their stories with the children, which of course is disappearing these days. But when I was having that project with the children, they were able to come with such a thing and I got impressed. So that made me to know that through art, people can tell stories, people can express whatever feeling they have. Two, art is a very good means of communication for the voice. Most adults think that children do not have very important ideas to share with other people. When I got introduced to Artolution, when I got to know that children can speak to other people, they have very important things to share with people in other parts of the world through public art. So it has been something, and if you truly want to know what the children have in their minds, you introduce them what they really have in their mind. So it is something that art can expose very fast. Thank you so much for that support, and I'm grateful.
Thank you so much. That's really good to hear how important the role of the arts is for resilience, for maintaining culture during these difficult times. Margaret, if you wanted to add on to that, we also had another question about arts in the time of the pandemic. And I know we'll be asking everyone about that soon. But how has that been for you, Margaret, during this time when people are on lockdown? This was a question from Abu Hamad Sausan. And so he's asking about the role of art during the pandemic.
It has been a good work. We have been working with the children. At least some of the children, they are coming and some they don't come. But it was more interesting that the children, at least they are able to learn something. They have learned most of the things, like washing hands. Some of the children, they don't want to wash hands. And even some of the families, they cannot do that because they were like, those things, they are very useless. But when the children were engaged into that, they were at least able to tell their parents about that one, about washing hands, even using masks, those things. So it was something very good for us, the artists, and I think in the community also.
You guys have been spreading these messages, as Margaret said, about COVID, about all the important ways that people can save lives by washing hands and by keeping social distance, etc. And I think all of those are a role that the arts plays in sending these important messages. We're wondering from Samir and from Wifa, what are the social challenges that their community currently is dealing with, and how can the arts be a way to affect those issues?
لا شوفي هلا بالنسبه لهذا الموضوع الفن هون بالمخيم كان إشي كثير ايجابي وكثير لقينا تفاعل من الناس. يعني ما كانش إشي اول شيء اسمه فن بالمخيم ولا حدا كل واحد همه كيف يمشي اموره الحياه اليوميه.
The art, it was the most positive things in their life in the camp, and bring the life to all the refugees in Azra camp. And it is very, very, because before everyone, he just tried to deal with the daily life.
طبعا نحن مجد هون بالمخيم يعني عن جد اعطى ايجابيات كثيره للاطفال. في كانت ناس مش مهتمه بالفن، مش عارفه شو هو الرسم، مش عارفه شو معنى الرسم. وصلنا افكار للمخيم، اعطينا بهجه للمخيم. طبعا بالتعاون مع ارتولوشن واليونيسف صار في الوان داخل المخيم، في بهجه. في ناس كانت تضيع كرفانتها ما تعرف وين الكرفانه موجوده، لانه كل الكرفانات صارت بتشبه بعضها. نحن صرنا نرسم على الكرفانات البيضاء، صارت العالم تميز كرفانتها بالرسمه الموجوده على راس الحاره او على راس الشارع او البلوكات الموجوده.
Before the arts, all the containers are all the same, but after they draw, everyone he knows after that where his house exactly, where is the location of his house, which mirror cover here his house. So it is for them, it is very nice, especially the kids. They don't lose where their house, so they feel like they related to the place, and each one he related to his house, special house.
طبعا رسمنا كمان بالمدارس، كان في رسم بالمدارس، جداريات بالمدارس. اعطينا بهجه للاطفال. صار الطفل لما يطلع بده يقعد مثلا بفرصته بعد ما يخلص مثلا دراسه، بيطلع صار يتامل بالرسومات، يلاقي في الوان، في حياه، مو بس لون ابيض.
يشجع انه يروح على المدرسه، انه في شيء غير البيت.
في رسومات تعليميه، كان في رسومات عن النظافه، في رسومات ابداعيه من خيال الاطفال، في رسومات يعني كثير طلعت حلوه.
Also they have too many mirrors in the school. That's what make the kids, when they finish their lesson and they go out for like 15-minute break, and they just thinking about what they watch from art and color. That makes them like have big imagination about their self and about artists, how the art and color can change their life to the good and the happiness.
الطفل كان بيحلم يرسم، بيحلم شو بده يصير.
And every kid he draw what he has a dream to become in his life, like what he want to be in the future.
كل طفل
about
كان
his skill. Yes.
كل طفل كان نحن شوي عندنا بالمخيم هون صحراء، يحبوا اكثر شيء اللون الاخضر، يحبوا الخضار، الطبيعه.
الشيء اللي ناقص في المكان اللي احنا ساكنين فيه.
يعني اكثر الاطفال كانت اكثر شيء توجهها تجاه الطبيعه، ترسم شجر، ترسم ورد، ترسم عصافير، يعني كان اتجاههم اكثر شيء للطبيعه.
He said like he's very happy to have a chance to let the kids like just imagine about their skills, what they would like to be in the future. So everyone he just focus in the image in front of his eyes in the school to think about his skills, what he would like to be to help his community and himself.
For those who are watching in, it's amazing that we're even able to connect from all of these very remote parts of the world. So thank you for your patience and understanding that and hearing these different questions.
And maybe we can ask Wifat, because we've talked a lot about the arts being a big role in creating social change and dealing with some of the issues going on in the community, but we haven't really asked what are those issues. So what are the biggest challenges? This is for Wifat. What are the biggest challenges facing her community right now?
أول شيء نحن مختلفين عن المخيم في يعني عادات وتقاليد عنا بالبلد، في مناطق اختلفت عنا. يعني الناس هون انفتحت إنه على الشغل،
صار في
اختلاط يعني حتى في مناطق عندنا كمان بسوريا انه لا، انه المرأة ما مثل الرجل، بس هون مختلفين عن المخيم.
صار في وحدة حال،
صار وحدة حال يعني مش على الشغل، يعني حتى وقت الواحدة بدها تشتغل، انه هذا اللي كان في شغلات انه لا ممنوع، بس وقت اللي طلعت الناس من سوريا واجت على المخيمات صار في تساوي بين الرجل والمرأة على الشغل، إنه خلص المرأة فيها كمان إنها تحمل العائلة، إنه تصرف عليها، إنه تعتني بأطفالها.
يعني مثل الرجل، صارت انه تعتمد على حالها، فينها تطلع، فينها تروح، فينها تيجي، فينها تشتغل، يعني ما في فرق بينها وبين الزلمه.
Biggest challenge and the changing, it was like in their village and in their country where they came from. Some women, they are not allowed to work, or they are not allowed to engage the work out of the house. But in Azra camp, when they came, the women, they engaged with everything, with art, with work. They handle to take care of the family, the kids, and it become like the woman, it is the same. They have the same rules like a man, and she can go outside and she can stand hand by hand with the man to work and to take care of the family. And also in the art, become all the people all together to help each other and to have this image like one hand, make it is not different between man or women or kids, but all are the same.
Shukran Samir, shukran Wifa. I think that's something that's really important to highlight, is that Artolution is really dedicated to gender equity and making sure that all of our teams have half men, half women working in them, and having leadership positions for women, even in places where that might not be common, but that is something that's very important to us at Artolution. And Max, you were going to ask a question to James, I think?
Yes, we've gotten a question just to describe a little bit about your animations during this era of COVID-19 and what are the messages that are being communicated?
Most of the animations I normally do these days they have been inspired by COVID-19 pandemic prevention measures. What I mean is that I communicate to my community using art other than words. When they say wash hands, I know what it means to wash hands, but some people may not actually get to understand it better. But when you put it down into art, people will get to understand it well. So what I do normally, I draw illustrations on how to prevent yourself from COVID-19 pandemic. For example, when they say stay at home, I would rather draw something other than writing a poster with text. I would rather draw something and tell people to see it and watch it for themselves, and they'll get to understand what it is, because art is more effective than text. So at this era or at this moment, most of the illustrations I do are basically on COVID-19 prevention.
Thank you, James. And I think with that, I see that the Rohingya team just got back, and I think we should ask the same question that we just asked, which is what have been how has COVID-19 affected your community, and how has the arts been able to be part of the response? And I think that's a really important question right now in the Rohingya camps because of the crisis there.
Yeah, I think so. During the time of COVID-19, one of the team of the Rohingya team, they're working and inside in the home, and they have a male and female artist. They're working and making the message, and in the meantime, our host community artists. So I'm trying to make the bridge and to listen from the Rohingya artist. So Anwar is the one of the host community artists and who has been working, and she's doing an amazing work in the last few months. So Anwar, doing COVID loyere corona loyere je artin goto like do to community like ke hajo tiger community ki has community ki hajo ei arta nai ebong community kon hon message ei তোর mural ot arta no tumi tuli dito like
মানে যিবা বড় মিউরাল আরা করোনা ভাইরাস আছে তো এখন বহুত মানুষ মানে করোনার মানে সতর্কর তারপরে আরা মানে আর্টের আরা কিভাবে ধ্বংসর কিভাবে মানুষের মানে কিভাবে মানুষের শরীরের মাঝে কিভাবে ঢুকিব মানে কি করলে কি হইব ইয়ান আরা মেসেজের মাধ্যমে বুঝাই দিই আর্ট করে দিই তো মানে কমিউনিটি বলতে মানে যারা বুঝের দেশের তো কেউ কেউ মানে জ্ঞানগরের সম্বন্ধে তারা জ্ঞান করে তখন যদি তারা হাত দেখিয়ে কি করতে পারে সতর্ক হতে পারে তো আরা চাই মানুষ সতর্ক হোক আরাই চাই তো আর্ট সম্পর্কে মানুষের বুঝতে পারে বলে আশা করি
Yeah, during the time of pandemic, so we are making different kind of message, different kind of murals, which basically awarding the people, concerning the people, like what is the COVID-19 and how COVID-19 is infected the people, and how people can how people can aware and can concern from the can keep in the social distance. Even this is one of the images, one of the murals she has been done where she's try to disseminate the message what is the COVID-19 and how it is impacted and what need to do, because she was talking about a lot of people doesn't know even what is COVID-19 and what kind of social distance and what kind of things that need to be take care of, what kind of public health things that need to be care of. So in this context, like so art is work in a very different way. So during time this, and we are trying to make the people understand so that people are aware about the COVID-19 and also aware about the public health messages. And I believe, so this is Anwar saying, like, I believe like people will be understand through our message about the public health. And are we able to make the aware through different kind of public health messages? Yeah, yeah, this is an amazing work she has been done, even inside of the home during the time of lockdown. This is one of the work our Rohingya artist has been done even during the time of lockdown with their family members. And here, one of the important thing is all the models and everything is based on their own culture and even based on their own thought and own idea from the ground. So I think this is an important what that have been done together. Even during the time of lockdown, they are working, they are producing messages, though they are so vulnerable and though they are so persecuted, and but in the meantime they are contributing in the during the time of pandemic around the world.
Thank you. That's so important. Shukriya, Anwara. That's so important, the work that you guys are doing there to help to prevent the coronavirus from spreading. We know that as traumatic as it's been for more wealthy countries and places to have the spread of coronavirus in refugee camps and in places that are vulnerable, we know that it would just be catastrophic. And so it's so important to spread those messages to prevent the spread. And we also know that the pandemic has really terrible effects also economically, right? So that's something also that we know is affecting many of your communities. Maybe we can go to Kizito, Miriam, and Margaret. Can you tell us a little bit about how the pandemic has affected Bidi refugee settlements, not just in terms of health, but also economically? How has it affected life there?
It has affected a lot of people because I think here people are like to have some food item that can be distributed to everyone, but due to that we are not able to have those things. Like sometimes we are having something like maize, oil, those things, but it has affected the economy of the country and the countries that are supporting the refugees. So it became very hard for people, forcing other people to go and work, like have farm to dig. Although the let me say the land is not all that fertile, but we are at least having something that is coming out of it. So it really affected most of the people here in the camp.
The effects that this COVID-19 has brought to us is that one, our children are not learning. Our children are at home, loitering, causing them to have a lot of havoc in their homes. Even our young girls, now because COVID has come, they are not coming to school. Some of them are getting pregnant. Some of them are getting married, which has caused a lot of problems to our children. People who are not having work. You find that people who are working are not working. They are at home, seated, brought a lot of poverty in our homes. So this pandemic really has affected the life of people in the refugee settlement. When you see during this season, you find that there's no happiness in families because people who are working, who are earning money, are not working. So the family has become so poor. Nothing is brought at home. For example, people are not working. There's nothing which is brought at home. So this pandemic has really affected us, causing problem to our children.
Yeah, it sounds like it has really, really devastating effects in terms of poverty there. Kizito, can you talk a little bit about how people are staying resilient? What are the most important things that can keep people resilient during this challenging time?
First of all, I'm beginning with one of the positive effects. When we newly came here in Bidibidi refugee settlement, there were some kind of wrangles between the host communities and the refugees. But as people got to know that there is a outbreak of corona, many of the refugees were not participating in agriculture because the land, the pieces of land they have got where they are right now, they were not all that fertile. But because of the COVID-19, people are idle at home. So many of the refugees have reasoned a bit and they are able to talk to the host communities. And if you are right now in the settlements, 90% of the refugees are now digging from the host communities. So that is one of the positive effects I've seen. And the COVID-19 has united the host communities and the refugees. I can see there is a kind of harmony. People are working smoothly in their gardens from the host communities. That is one of the positive effects Corona has caused. Just to add something on what Miriam said, as I talk now, I'm this way in the settlement. There are very many of my children I was teaching in the class. I know like 3 who are already pregnant, meaning that they already idle, they're not doing anything, so they get you find them moving everywhere. So due to that, I know 3 already pregnant and then 1 has got married. So that is a negative effect of this pandemic. Many people were working, but there are some kinds of work which are not supposed to be done now. People have lost their jobs, they are at home, others are not paid, others are just, they do some little work and the amount of money God cannot be used to maintain people at home. So it is really something challenging. Domestic violence has increased because the husband used to move up and down looking for food, but now transport systems are restricted. There is no movement, you just stay within your village. So getting some of the necessary things for the family has become impossible, which has increased the rate of violence in our families. Most people are talking about corona, they've forgotten about other sicknesses. That's why you find many pregnant women, they sometimes die on the way as they go to give birth, because you may call for means of transport and then they say the transport has gone to this other side, the transport has gone. You find this pregnant woman walking to the health center, which is sometimes terrible. And it is something challenging that people's focus is now on coronavirus, leaving aside these other sicknesses. That is one of the greatest effects, which is challenging people in our communities, like children. Their services, you find, because there are some of those measures the health workers have given us, that social distancing, staying at home, you know, some of the community members, they are ignorant, others did not go to school. So because of that, if you have heard from someone that we should stay at home, then you may be thinking that in the health center people are not there. You find you are sick because you are ignorant and you heard that people are supposed to stay at home. They're supposed to be social distancing. You find someone staying at home with a child, and then the child dies. Our children who were at school, you know, some parents believe that their children have conquered them, especially in maintaining discipline. So it was a great chance when children were staying at school. But because the children are not at home, a lot of problems. So these are some of the things I can talk for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I think that really gives us a little glimpse of what life is currently like during this pandemic and, you know, why it's so challenging. And there are a few positive outcomes and some silver linings, but it's really, really challenging. We would love for everyone to share some of their memories. This is for everyone on the panel, to share some of your memories from different Artolution projects that you've been involved in, interactions with some of the children, you know, anything that you feel like would be nice for people to know about your experiences.
One of the most important memories I have it that the first meal we made in Samos camp with my student, that when all the kids involved, and then like the parents, they feel very shame, like they stay behind the first day. And then the second day in the morning where there is no one, we saw like the parents involved to paint in the wall, and it was very amazing. And then in the third day, so the kids with their parents, with everyone, they involved to make the mural. When the kids start to put all their dreams in the small papers, and then Max asked them to keep it. After that, I always them their dreams. In 2017, I visit most of the kids, and then I found everyone he get his dream to become true. Like everyone, he was hoping to have a reunification with their family, with their fathers or mother in another country. So they become connecting with their families, and they go to school, normal school. They have normal house. They have toys. Who has a dream to have his normal bedroom, and all this become true.
Like if I share my experience, like when working with our solutions, like we know that like the Rohingya people who were firstly displaced people from Myanmar and who had an experience of genocide, ethnic cleansing, and a lot of things. So when I saw that, when I first met with the Max in our solutions in one of the army camp area. So one of the where we me and our solution were Max were working. So in the moment I saw one of the girl face, and the first day when I was conducting the interview of her, and still I think people can see the film of this girl on our solution pages and channel. So when I first day saw her face, and the fifth day of her face is totally changed. Like after the work, after how art really changed, how art really worked to cope up the trauma, and especially that time in 2017, the most of the people were so traumatized. Even most of the people, it was so scattered and it was not that much organized. So we saw that the kids and who were randomly like following the Max, and when Max are working, even I saw that the Joel when you working in Bangladesh and also inside in the Rohingya camp, and how really they enjoy the work, how really they enjoy, they love it. If I share the one of the comment of one of our artists, his name is Mohammed Noor. I used to share to everywhere. He said like, art is kind of my land. I'm just get my land back and where I can draw. And yes, this is the part of area we're talking about. Like so, Mohammed Noor said, art is kind of my land, and where is I'm getting everything, whatever I want. And this is kind of where I express my full freedom of expressions. Then one of the artists, his name is Boshirullah, if I mentioned, he's a folklore musician and who was brutally tortured inside in Myanmar. And when he just back in Bangladesh, and that time the doctor and the healthcare worker, they're talking about you need to be keep calm and you need really you need to be take care of yourself. So when he first worked with us, I conducted the interview several times with him. So he said art is kind of like medicine for me. It's kind of like medicine. It works really as a medicine. So Boshirullah, who is like 65 years old, when he's thinking about like art is like a medicine for him. And especially if I share the another woman like Dilder, and one of the women who has a really different story, and she was talking about after she when worked with the UNFPA center, I mean women-led community center. She said, first I thought that I'm the woman who I had a really bad experience and also I have a trauma and different things. But when I really worked with different women in every camp, in different camp, and then I understand not only me, there's lots of women who are really depressed. And when I really work with them, and some of the mother of the survivors say, hey, can you draw my cow, can you draw my son who I have lost? When I draw, and then and her enthusiasm, her expression is kind of she's getting a world through the art. So this kind of experience, like every day inside in the, this is a for the Majid and also other artists, and all of you know that this is a world largest refugee camp. And here is like we have a male and female artist who has been working, we have old arrivals, we have a middle arrivals, we have a new arrivals. So every arrivals they have a different kind of experience. And when our artists working inside the art center and with the different kind of community among themselves, and when I saw their expression and their face, it's kind of really different. It's really even I can't explain like how really feel it, how really attached to their art. Even for me, if I say like as experience I have to work with Artolutions, like I've been covering this issue for a long time and working. I feel my mom said is you were totally changed after working with Artolutions. Like when a group of Rohingya artists work with a group of Bangladeshi community peoples, and and that moment when first day they basically didn't mix each other. When the second day, third day, fourth day, they have really different experience and they're to be a friend with each other. Even one of the things we really work with one of the primary schools, and one of the boy whose name is Shumon, and Max can remember, like his expression and his experience and his story when he was delivering to the people is kind of tremendous. This is a very different things, like how people think different way through the art. And I think this experience is it's a historical experience. I can say I feel very feel proud to be a bigger part of it, like has been watching and also communicating every day with the people who are every day making their own history, making their own culture, and exploring and representing themselves to the world. Today is World Refugee Day. Like this is a program where refugee people are representing, and this is a kind of real thing which is going on. And I think this is tremendous and amazing. And I'm very much happy to meet all of the artists around the world who are really making their own history through their own way.
Thank you so much for sharing that really meaningful sentiment. So for those else who are out there, we would love to also for Anwara to say if you have any specific memories that you would love to share from your time working with us.
El mohono jam no hori toba pandera hakete beki jam misala laga mani pandera dagdile dagna mane ba pandera rong no bitu be ya no bele cha no ya mani hata mana na bare to ya no lai mani ka osanti lagi to be akan jinis elo gua buk mai ko mani mai ba hata honno bare তো মাইসে গা সিংহ আগের মানে সিংহ আগের আরো হতে মানে ইশারা বুঝার আরে সিংহ আগে হর এই বলতে মানে রোহিঙ্গা মাইকো আর কি তো আই চার এবার মানে কৃষি কুশিনগরে দেখি সাইডে তখন এবার দিন আগের মানে হো বহু ওদের সিংহর মতন আর কি So I betul jago itu tui ati janone balaguri hoti jani korma de bolbe ati. So I aro besi kuri ati jani manus ati jani botulla ati jani ari isara kuri botulla kuri bujaye ati.
So Anwar said I had an experience. I have a different kind of experience. Like I have experience with one of the Rohingya girls and who was mute and she was not able to talk. And when I was working with her, she was drawing different kind of images, and she drawn one of the images like a image of a lions. And she tried to make me understand like she can do a lot of things and through the nonverbal communication. And she was sharing with me. And in the meantime, when I asked her, "Do you know to draw the other things?" and she was saying, "Yes, I can draw," and she was really happy to share with the other images and also the experience, like she can draw something which exactly really is related to the reality, and that's the experience she had.
Shukriya, Anwara. Let's go to Majida, and if you could ask the question to Samir and Wifa about their meaningful memories of projects that they've done. They've led so many projects over the last couple of years with youth, with children in Azraq. So what are some of their special memories there?
مثل ما حكى ماكس هي اجوا الشباب وهي بذرة زرعوها زرعوها بالمخيم وعم تنبت وعم تكبر اول باول. هاي الكلمة يعني لحد الان ما بننساها، انه كانت شغلة بسيطة زرعوها الشباب وبلشت تكبر اول باول، وليكنا صرنا فريق 10. في ذكريات يعني عن جد كانت هي صعبة كثير بالشغل، كانت اجواء شوف كثير، اطفال كثير عرفت شلون؟ يعني عن جد كانت اجواء صحيح صعبه بس بنفس الوقت حلوه كثير.
The most important memories he had when Max told him like the first project, it was like the first seed. They will put it in the ground and it will grow up day by day. So they start with 2 person and now they have a team of 10 members. And the huge memory they have, as Max always say, like it's too hard and too many to done the project, and it is funny, and of course this is something for them.
طبعا كانت بهجة الأطفال، يعني لحد الآن عن جد في ذكريات ما بننساها، أيام فرجة 2 القرية الثانية. يعني لحد الآن في أطفال بيشوفوني بالمخيم وبيسألوني إمتى بده يجوا ماكس وجويل. يعني بيكفي إنه لسه في أطفال متذكرة الأيام هي، يعني تركوا بصمة بالمخيم، ولساتها لحد الآن الأطفال في القرية الثانية وين بأي قرية بيسألوني إمتى بدكم ترسموا عنا، إمتى، يعني لساتهم متذكرين الشغلات القديمة، الرسم القديم، كيف كانوا يشاركوا معنا، معاملتنا مع الأطفال، بيشاركوا بالجداريات. لحد الآن متذكرين الأطفال. ويعني لما تشوف حدا بالشارع عم يقول لك إمتى بدكم تيجوا ترسموا لي، يعني بذكرني بهذيك الايام، جد بنبسط يعني انه تركنا فيه بصمه بالمخيم. لانه
the memories when they done the first project, it is still stuck in the kids' head. So they always, when they saw, they ask him, your friend Max and Joel, when they will come back to do a new project, what you will draw. And all this memory, and the kids until now they ask him when he cross by the village or the street where the kids live. And this also like touch the memory in Samir's head always, and always imagine many things happened during the project with Max, and a lot of enjoying with the kids and everyone.
جويل نو اكل
ما في اكل okay, and maybe for Wifa, if she has a memory of maybe one of the kids that she's worked with that really sticks with her.
ايام اللي اجى ماكس وجويل كانت احلى ايام، لانه الاطفال صح هم بيستمتعوا انه بالشغل معنا، بس وقت اللي بيكون حدا جاي من غير بلد او بيتنشطوا انه في ناس مهتمه فيهم، يعني بيصير عندهم امل اكبر. يعني شوف فرحتهم، يعني
في ناس بتلاقيها بعد ما ننتهي من الجداريه نصير اصدقاء. عرفت علي كيف؟ يعني بصيروا يشوفونا بالشارع كانه بيعرفني من زمان، نصير في صداقه، في بتلاقيه بالشارع على طول بيسلم علي. الاطفال بتلاقيهم مبسوطين كثير، يعني صار في موقف بيناتنا. بتحكي لك انه لانه كان فتره الشغل فتره طويله وهيك، واخذوا جو الاولاد على الرسم، ظلت بصمه، ضلهم حافظين انه في شباب بالمخيم رسامين، وعلى طول بنشوفهم. يعني هيك ظلت في بصمه في شيء غريب صار بالمخيم، يعني انه اول مره بيشاركوا بالالوان، بيعجبوا حالهم بالالوان، بياخذوا راحتهم بالرسم. يعني ما في حد، يعني ما في حدا انه مقيدهم بشيء.
لا، وفي ناس كمان انه عم تستوعب افكارهم، يعني في شغلات الواحد لانه ابداعاتهم ما فيهم يحكون لاهاليهم، ما فيهم شو بيجي على بالهم بيحكوا لنا إلنا شو حابين يصيروا، شو يعني حابين يصيروا بالمخيم.
One of the things she noticed, and it is never forget for her, when she the kids, they thought like some people, they came from outside, from Europe or America, and they are really care about us. That minute, it's very, very important for them. And also for her, like they share with the kids some idea, some skills, and like sometimes they never had been sharing what they feel or what they think about it with their parents, but they came to Wafa, and because the drawing like takes for a long time, so become a friend, and day by day they become very close friend, and that's very, very touch her. And something very important, like they always asking about if they can share something with her, like something very special for them.
Okay, سمير ووفاء، شكرا كثير.
ولاد كثير.
قبرة كثير، ولاد كثير، شوب كثير.
كثير. We should move over to the Ugandan, to the South Sudanese team, about any memories that you wanted to share, about any specific kids or stories that are important to you today for World Refugee Day.
Thank you very much. The memories which I can have since Artolution came to our area, as we came from South Sudan, we did not know anything. We were thinking that maybe the trashes, the bottles were useless. But when we came, when Artolution came in, when Mr. Max came in, we saw that those bottles, broken jerry cans, broken pots were all useful. I can remember we made a very nice animal, which was an elephant, which when I just arrive at school, I can just go near the elephant. I can see everything, every trash that has been put there. Then I remember, I say, yes, art has got a lot of things. Everything that we see that it is not useful is useful in art. So it has created really a very attractive environment. When I see Artolution, I feel so happy. When I see the pictures, when children draw them, I feel happy. Children are even interested in drawing. You find that every time a child gets a book, a child gets on the ground, you find that he's busy drawing. So I feel so happy when I see Artolution. I really thank Max for bringing Artolution to us Sudanese, because we've never seen Artolution since in our country. Artolution wasn't there. But when Artolution came to, when we came to Uganda as refugees, when Max also came in our school, we really had a good time with Max, and our children were happy. Children were even involved in painting, which means children learned a lot of things by the time Artolution reached in this school. So we feel like Artolution should go ahead so that every child could get access to arts, and it has also created the love of art in our children. These children, when they came from South Sudan, some few, let me say that no one knew about art. But when they came here, they have picked the interest of art. So everyone is busy. When they hear about Artolution, everyone is busy. Everyone is interested. Yeah, I can say those are some of the things that I can comment on. We need Artolution to go ahead. Artolution has brought for us good change in our lives. So Max and Joel, I think it is good that you come back and join our children in Artolution so that that love of art will continue. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Miriam. Margaret, do you have any specific memories about maybe one specific child or an interaction that you had that has stuck with you?
Yeah, it was very nice. I have one of the memory in Alaba with one of my friend in P4 and one of the older man, which was very great. And whenever I'm going to Swinger and I see that peak, I feel very happy because I'm thinking back of that memories, the time that we are sharing together, having fun. So I'm just happy with that pic on the wall whenever I go to Swinger. And the other one is like having some games before our work with the children. So that one also helped me and I was very happy with that. So those are the moments that I have. Thanks.
I have a lot of memories that was created by Artolution from the first minute Max reached in our refugee settlement. There was a seed that was planted. So that seed has started growing, and right now the seed is growing. And one of the memories, which looks, you may not understand it easily, but where Artolution can conserve the environment. Because for us this way, things like bottles of drinks, those old containers, for us we don't think about making use of them. But the memory that is created in me, those old and unused materials that could make the environment unproductive can be collected, and artistically they can be used to communicate to people. That's why we're having an elephant, which I think may now be pregnant as we talk now. So that is one of the memories that is being created in me from the first day I joined Artolution. And the other memory is that this day, yeah, I can see the elephant now. One of the memories is that these days, wherever I go, if I go like places where we have ever had projects, instead of people calling my name, they now say Artolution is going. So that is because of the enjoyable moments we shared during these projects. So those are some of the things that have remained in my memory, and I know I will not forget about them. Thank you.
Thank you. That is such an inspiration for us from hearing from all of you, and from Anwara, and from Wafa, and Samir, and from the team, and Miriam. I know that Anwara is going to have to leave, so we should take one photo together. So maybe on the count of 3, if everybody could make kind of an exciting face, and Joel will take a photo. Exciting face. So,
Oh, me? Okay. Let me get it. All right, everyone. Ready?
Sura.
Okay.
1,
2, 3. So we just have a few minutes left. If anyone has not shared a story, I know I see Esero there. Hello, Esero, who's joined us, one of our teaching artists.
Okay, thank you. Hello, I'm Esero Nayong from Bidibidi Refugee Settlement. I'm an artist. I have a memory to share with the world. It was during our project True in Bidibidi Refugee Settlement, whereby on day one, we had children we worked with, and we made a selection. Day two, there happened to be a kid who joined during day two, and we had actually moved a step in making sketches, plans, and so on, meaning he missed the preliminaries. This kid could escape from class and join the art group to work with us. He worked with us for the rest of the 4 days up the day we launched the project. On the day we launched the project, the child is called James. He came and confessed. He is in school because of art. He had lost hope. He came, attended school, and dropped. But when he heard that there was a team which had come to school and had given children opportunity to paint their dreams, James came the following day. That's how he came to miss the first day and joined the following day. On that day, he told us he wants to study and become an artist, and specifically wants to create art in the community where he lives. He feels like he should express his stories, tell stories, and assist fellow children to come up and paint their dreams. Up now, James is an active member of the Kids Club, where we had our project too. So this memory reminds me that many had lost hope, but because of art, they have again gained hope. In some centers even, for example, the enrollment has stepped up. Where we had a project with the Max, you can tell, the day we closed, people were, kids cried. They were like, you shouldn't go, remain and we do art. When are you coming back? Up to now they call, when are we having another project? That's the memory I felt like sharing with the rest of the world.
Thank you, Esro. I think that's so important. You know, that for these kids, you know, the arts, we really believe is a way to connect them to their community, to their schools. And I think your story really highlights that.
Yes, I'm with you people.
Great. Do you have any stories to share, maybe about some of the children you've worked with or one of the projects you've done?
Yes, I joined at Luzon in Zone 5, and the way I joined at Luzon after now, it has brought for me a very great change, because the time I joined at Luzon, I was really very sick because of trauma, stress, what. But when Susan called me when I was at the clinic for injection, I was relieved from that time, and the cannula was removed. I told Susan I will join you in the evening. Said no, earlier is better. I went home. I thought twice. I was like, I go or I don't go. Something, just go. I went when I joined when people have already finished like some 3 days. The sketches are already done. And I joined and I was welcomed. With really happiness. I joined. But what had made me really up to now tomorrow, I was, as the first project, I was made to explain a mirror of each and everyone's rights. If I go to Ariwa Secondary School, I look at the nurse and the first lady to graduate in South Sudan. I feel like I should also go back to school and graduate like the second woman to graduate in South Sudan. Up to now, from that sickness that I have because of trauma and things since I joined at Luzon, and with what I learned, even with the children, they were painting, because since I was born, I never hold a paint to paint. But since I joined with children, we were painting together, doing all things together. I really felt I was relieved, and the world is still continuing, because before I thought that I was going to die and I was not going to enjoy life again. But from seeing the photos, the giraffe that had been made, not with the paint, but with the available resources, that you make your compound very clean using the available resources. But what I've seen from the giraffe, the jerrycan, the tires, the what. Really, it has given me something that what we have can communicate. Even the stone, when put it together, can communicate something. And the giraffe had been made with a long neck to overseen, to see far and see what is there. So those are the memories. I have long memories, but those are the ones really. Whenever I'm sleeping, I sleep with them, I wake up with them. Thanks.
Thank you
Oh,
so much.
amazing.
Yeah. So on a last, because we're gonna have to finish soon. Does anybody here have any other comments for each other? I think that was one of the most important endings. And I love what you said, Abba Charity, about dreaming and wake up every morning and it lives with you. And I think it lives within all of us. It's like a light that lives within us. So if anybody has any reflections on each other's stories, we wanted to end by being able to have a conversation. I see
Yeah,
Shusha with your hand up.
yes, I think I can start. So thank you. It's really inspiring and amazing story, and I will share to all the artists, those who are working in the ground, and also the host community, those who are not able to present, about your story. So one of the things through the Artolutions today, I able to even my team able to join to everyone. So you guys are not alone, and what you are doing, and this is just amazing and wonderful work, wonderful contribution. You are not alone, and people around the world with you. And here is also the same story, and I think people will be happy, like we all are together under the same shadow, under the shadow of the Artolution. And what you are doing, this is a tremendous and amazing job, and I hope one day Artolution will arrange a program in headquarters where all the artists from the Artolutions from different part of the world and will be celebrate. All that will be something tremendous things is gonna happen. So it's really from from Bangladesh, and I'm from a long distance from you, but I feel it's so close. Your story is so close to me, and it's really I can't express. It's amazing. You people are amazing, and trust you people are the hero. What you are doing for your community in this pandemic, in this crisis, just keep continuing. Just keep continuing.
Thank you, Shuja. That's an important message. Does anyone else have any closing messages for the other teams?
Yeah, for me, I'm really glad to be part of this such amazing team. I really always found myself with art, with Max, with Shajara, and I give him name Shajara because he's like a tree in Arabic. That means Shajara. So he's always give his green react to be always happiness, and he's like sunshine every place he came to give it really like a life. He's not only the seed, he's like a mother, hold all the love or respect or giving, and I really want him to give more and more in different place. And one thing I really wish, I'm really hardly waiting to have it. And we have a project with all Artolution team from all the camps, but to in mother home, not as a refugee, but I want to end this refugee to make like homeland to everyone, to welcome everyone without any comment before their names, because we are all a human being and we can mix as a color and mix our life in every land. I'm looking for a project with you, maybe in Yemen, maybe in Erbil, maybe in another crisis place, but to give them happiness, life, and much love and respect. Thank you so much to give me this a chance to meet you all and to hear your stories. You are such amazing people. You spark me a lot. Now I feel like I'm flying, my heart full of love. I get it from all of you. I love you so much.
Oh, thank you, Manjira. Shukran jazilan. You are a total inspiration. And maybe since you were mentioning that, if Wafa and Samir have any final comments for the other teams.
والله يا ماجدة نحن عن جد صحيح انه الحكي ما في مترجم، مش عم نفهم شو عم بيحكوا، بس مبسوطين بشوفتهم. عرفتي كيف؟ يعني عم بيحكوا بس مش كل واحد عم بيحكي شو صاير معه شو تأثر بحياته اليومية مع أرتلوشن. نحن عم جد انبسطنا كثير بشوفتهم، وبنتمنى الأيام القادمة إن شاء الله يا رب هيك نجتمع على جدارية واحدة نتعرف عليهم أكثر، وبالتوفيق إن شاء الله.
Samir said he's really happy to meet all of you. He's sad a little bit because he doesn't understand all the conversation, but what he understood, of course, they spoke about their experience with Artolution and what it is affecting their life after they work as artists. And he looking for, or he has dreams to have one mural with all the artists in all the world. وفاء حابة تحكي شيء؟
أنا كتير سعيدة إنه اليوم مجتمعين كلياتنا فريق أرتوليشن بكل العالم. يعني هي تجربة كتير حلوة. يعني لا تاخذوني إني اليوم خجلانة لأنه أول مرة بس عن جد أنا كتير يعني فرحت إني بعطيها لحدا إنه مجتمعين كلياتنا سوا. هذا كتير شيء حلو، بداية كتير حلوة. بس لو في مترجم كان يعني
حكوا علي أنا يمكن كان لازم أترجم بس لأنه الوقت كتير مضغوط.
عادي لا مش
Okay. Wafa said she's very, very happy to meet all Artolution teams in all the world. That makes her feel welcome in one group. And of course, she's happy to have one project with all of the artists. Today we meet in all as a family in one group. That makes her very, very exciting and looking forward to meet again.
طبعا من فريق أرتلوشن المخيم الأزرق بنوجه تحية لجميع الفرق وسلام من فريق أرتلوشن، الشباب اللي معنا الموجودين، محمد، أدهم، البنات، جميع الكلية بسلم على الجميع عندكم على اللايف.
معلش سمير تعيد مرة ثانية لأنه شوي غاب الخط.
بحكي لك الشباب مجموعتنا محمد وأدهم اسم فريق أرتلوشن المخيم الأزرق بيوجه لهم تحية لجميع الفرق الموجودة بالسودان والبددي وبنجلاديش، لجميع الفرق بيوجه لهم تحية. صحيح ما مش موجودين معنا بس عم يحضروا.
The team Artolution in Azraq camp, they send their regards to all Artolution teams. They are not with Samir and Wafa in the same room, but they watch the live through Facebook, and they're really, really happy to meet people from Bangladesh, from Bedeti, and from all the world.
شكرا. يعطيك العافية سمير ووفاء.
الله يعافيك.
Yeah, so I must say I'm so grateful for Artolution for having this respect to the persons of concern, the refugees, and honoring this day and making it for them to make sure that the refugees from different parts of the world are able to meet and share their experience. It's the first of its kind in history, and I must say I'm so grateful to Artolution for making this happen, and I'm sure all the dreams or that the artists are dreaming of will happen. We'll meet at one time and organize a mural together. We meet and share. I must say I'm so happy. Please, I wish you a nice time. Thank you so much.
I'm very impressed by our fellow artists and our management, especially from Artolution, Max, Joel. Thank you very much for organizing this. Of course, to the refugees, this is not the end of the world. I want to encourage everyone that there is a new life after whatever you are through. Every day is a new experience. It is a new day. Enjoy it the way you wake up in the morning and have a cup of tea, or not hard, but just keep strong. I've been touched by Anwar. I didn't know those were her drawings. I follow Artolution on Instagram. They're amazing, and it's a challenge to other girls or women out there that are part of our team that never give up. Never give up, because Anwar has shown it that however much our cultures don't allow women from going out or doing certain kind of work, Max can be whatever. He knows how Frola. In our culture, ladies are not supposed to climb ladders. But I'm telling you, when you see Flora up there, like when she did a lot of work on that giraffe. She was having a hammer, getting nails, and to make sure we do and finish our work in time. So big ups to people, the girls and our ladies that we have on our teams that never give up, and all the amazing artworks and pieces you've been doing through this pandemic. So stay safe where you are, and we wish you all the best. I hope one day, as Shuza has said, we will meet as Artolution artists and leaders from different countries. Thank you very much.
I will say, seeing all of these different faces across the world, I feel like we're all one, like we're all connected, like we're all different, different trees in a single forest, right? And the reality is that Artolution may have planted that seed, but the resilience and the amazing inspiration, all of you inspire us. You are our inspiration. You are the water that I think feeds the soul for me and Joel. And you give our lives meaning. And I know every morning I wake up and I think about all of you. And you are the number of children whose lives you've impacted is just, it's astounding. And I think today on World Refugee Day, to see that across the world, across different languages, different cultures, across every difference, actually we're all the same. We're all connected. And I think that's something that we can see from this day is remarkably special. So thank you for sharing your hearts and your souls and your emotion with us. It's a remarkable, remarkable series of stories. You are the future of the history of the arts in the world.
And I think for me, I also want to say thank you to all of you. And I think on World Refugee Day, you know, this is a day when the world is focused on issues of refugees. And I think, unfortunately, of course, refugees need support from others. But I think sometimes that's the only story that gets told, is that refugees need help. And what you guys have shown is that that's not always the case. In fact, people who are refugees, people who have gone through challenges in life, can be the ones to affect social change in their own communities. And what's most important is to support that, to support refugees who want to uplift the youth in their communities, to uplift the families. And that's what all of you are doing every single day, all year round, is doing that really hard work, often not getting recognized for it. So I really want to recognize and thank all of you for the important work that you do. So thanks everyone, and thanks also for the translation. Majida, Shuja, thanks for helping out with that as well. And it's so amazing to see all of you in one room. It might be a virtual room, but to have all of you in one room together is just incredible. And we've never done that before. So we just made history today with Artolution.
And for me and Joel, for me and Joel, this is a dream. You are a living dream of what we've been working for many, many years. And to see this living dream where you are the leaders is something, it's very emotional for us. And I just want you to know that that you are, from what Joel said, it's not about talking about refugees. It's being able to have you telling your own stories in conversations like this. And thank you, just from the bottom of both for me and Joel. We appreciate you every day. For the world.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Akajuka.
Shukran jazilan. Akajuka. Para. Shukriya.
Bye everyone.
Bye everyone.
Ala rasi.
Ala rasi.